welcome back to my channel. This is Nasu with Fight for Kidneys. Today we'll be talking about kidney transplant. Hey, have you ever heard about kidney transplant? Do you have a family member, a friend, a co-worker whose kidneys have failed and might benefit from a kidney, either from you or from somebody else? So today we'll be exploring what's a kidney transplant, what to expect, and can you be that person who is the kidney donor? Welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for being my regular viewer, and I do appreciate each and every one of you for taking time, even if it's 10 minutes, to watch me as we talk about about kidneys and fighting for kidneys, because we can win this war. So without wasting any time, let's dig in and find out what's a kidney transplant. So kidney transplant is the best treatment for anybody whose kidneys have failed. What does really kidney transplant mean? This means somebody goes to the surgery and they receive a new kidney. And what exactly happens during kidney transplant? So when you go to the theater or you go to the surgery, you have already gone through this process, and we'll talk about it. And they leave your two kidneys there, but then you receive this new kidney from either a living donor or a transplant donor. But your kidneys they are never taken out. They are left there, and they put that new kidney in a different place, and it's connected with your ureters and all the way to your bladder, so it can function like your normal kidneys before your kidneys had failed. Lily, is this a major surgery? Yes, somebody has to be put to sleep, and it takes time to get through the whole kidney transplant. And most of the time, people have to stay in the hospital for a couple of days or a week until the other kidneys has gained function, or it has started kicking in. That's what we use, the layman terms. Has the kidneys woken up, or have they kicked in? So where can you get a kidney from? There are two ways you can get a kidney. You can get a kidney from a living donor. That means somebody who is alive, either from your family member, a friend, a co-worker, or a stranger. You just go and put it out there that you need a kidney, and somebody is willing and give you a kidney. And it can also, there's another process where it's going, like your kids say, I give you a kidney, and we are perfect match. Let's say we are not perfect match, and I give you a kidney, but we are not that perfect match. But then there's somebody else who has given somebody else a kidney, and those two, you match the other person, and I match the other person. So those two kidneys can go. It's like a next stage. You get that person's kidney, and I give this other person the kidney. What is a deceased donor? A deceased donor, this is a person who has died. And they could have died because of various reasons. They could have been accident, it could be anything that could have happened that could have caused them to die. But their kidneys are still viable, they are still good, so that kidney can go to somebody else. And most people, and we encourage people to be on that donor list in case anything happened to you. Can you donate your organs? And it's not just kidney. There are so many organs that can be harvested from anybody who has passed on or who has died. And I encourage people, ask yourself, if you lose a loved one, I know it's tough, but if you lose a loved one and you feel that person can help somebody else, yes, give them that organ. I mean, it's a very sensitive thing to talk about to people, saying, I need to give this. You can donate anything. You can donate the skin, you can donate the eyes, you can donate the hands. There's so many things that can be donated. But right now we are talking about kidneys. So always think about it. If your loved one dies, can you give that kidney? Or if it's you, can you donate that kidney to give somebody else life? I think that's the most satisfying thing you can do in life. And Lily, you as a person, can you still give, even if you're not dead, can you give that person another kidney? Can you give somebody a kidney? Anybody can survive with one kidney. So when you give a kidney, they don't take two kidneys. They take one kidney, they leave you with one kidney, and you give the other person one kidney. So kidney transplant is the most thing that you can get from, like, closest to your own kidneys. That's the most treatment that you can get that is close to your treatment, close to your own body, like getting your own kidney. And once you get a kidney transplant, within a few days those kidneys kick in and you start functioning like any other, like the way your kidneys weren't functioning. You start filtering blood and you start urinating like you are going to the bathroom and peeing before your kidneys failed. Like I said, yes, you just need one kidney, not two, one. So I'm encouraging you, my regular listener, and the other person that you can connect me with, ask them, can you donate our kidneys? And let's talk about donating kidneys, because it's a good thing to do. If your kidney transplant is successful, like I said, you start functioning right away. You start making urine, and you start filtering blood, and then you start making that urine. Who can get a kidney transplant? Anyone can get a kidney transplant. And the reason why I'm saying anyone can get a kidney transplant is because you can be at a certain age and be in great health and get you can be 80, 70, 80, and sometimes it's a gray line. People will say, I have seen it different ways. The age limit, where people are trying to say now the age limits, it's no, we can just go by age limits. So overall, your good health, at any age you can get a kidney transplant. If you're at a certain age, I don't think 100 years you're getting a kidney transplant, but now you're seeing people going, the cutoff is changing from transplant centers to transplant centers, and good match. So that's a good thing, and that's a key thing, a good match. So say, for instance, your son or your husband or your sister or your coworker decide they would like to donate their kidneys. That kidneys has to match. So a good match, that means you can be able to get a kidney. Sometimes people don't get the kidneys because they are not good match. The other thing, you can get a kidney transplant, you have to be poor. If you don't have a living donor, somebody who comes and say, I'll offer kidneys, and you have to meet all the other criteria that we'll talk about. But if you don't have that person donating a kidney, you can be put on a waiting list. And that list, it's a transplant list where you go through the whole process like anybody else, whether you are getting a living donor or a deceased or being put on everybody has to go on that waiting list. You still have to go through the screening. That's what I try to say, to be able to receive a kidney transplant. And what does the screening mean? So the screening, the main thing is to make sure your overall body, are you in good health? And they are very lenient. You can be on a transplant list, something happened, say you got diagnosed with some kind of condition, and then you might be kicked out from being actively listed for kidney transplant to being until your overall health improves. You have to be checked for mental health. Really physical. Are you mentally, physically to be able to take care of yourself after kidney transplant? Because there's also things that are involved with kidney transplant. You have to meet a certain age. If you are that person, and I really emphasize that because I see it a lot. If you're that person who uses illicit drugs, or you drink a lot, you smoke, then that might not make you get eligible for be actively listed on the waiting list or in the kidney transplant list. So you meet with the transplant coordinators, and they'll go over all what you need. And if you do not pass that, say you smoke, then they may ask you that you have to stop smoking, and you have to show it for a certain period of time. Say you go for kidney transplant, you're overweight, then they might tell you have to lose a certain amount of weight, and you exercise, you watch your diet, and then you meet whatever the criteria that they need you to be in, and then you can get a kidney transplant. Say your blood pressure is out of control, then they have to tell you need to get your blood pressure controlled. You could have to go for cardiac stress test. If you don't pass that, then they have to make sure you do whatever. They have to tell you what you need to do, and then after you go and you pass, then you become actively listed, if that's what it is. And then for other things, if you are going to dialysis, your compliance, do you go to your treatment as prescribed? Do you complete your treatment? So when people are in dialysis, we emphasize about making sure you're coming to your treatment, finishing your treatments on time, and and making sure you are following, like if your phosphorus are in control, you're meeting all the adequacies, and most people who are in dialysis will understand what it means when I say about adequacy. That means, are you getting your kidneys the good clearance for your kidneys? And that means you're running the whole treatment, and yes, you're coming to treatment on time, coming as prescribed, and you're also running your full treatment as prescribed. And we're also meeting all the other perimeters that you're supposed. If you have access, is that access working in the right way? Are you going to the access center when you're told to go see a access doctor? So there's so many things they look for you to get into that transplant list and to be actively listed. You can be referred, you can be in a transplant list, but are you actively listed? That anytime you can be called if a kidney become a match for you. Most people wonder, what are the success rate for kidney transplant? According to the kidney transplant for living donors, the success rate is 97 for 1 year and 86% for 5 years. That's a good rate. And then if you are getting a kidney from a deceased donor, the success rate for 1 year is 96%, and for 5 years is 79%. So still, even if it's 1 year that you qualify to have a new kidney, and you do not have to go to dialysis, and you can be yourself, hey, that's kudos to me. So always, if you're in dialysis, you're newly diagnosed with dialysis, newly diagnosed with kidney failure, please start asking about kidney transplant. Find out, can I be listed? Can I get into the kidney transplant? Can I get a kidney? Start talking to your friends, start talking to your family members. What are the benefits of getting a kidney transplant? Of course, number one, it's like you do not need dialysis anymore. If it's a successive transplant, you do not need dialysis anymore. So you can be free. You don't have to have any machines hooked up to you. You don't have to be doing peritoneal dialysis at night. You are free, and you can travel, do the things you used to do when you did not, you had your kidneys were functioning. You feel more energetic, because like I have said in my other videos that when you go through dialysis, or just even when you have not started dialysis, you feel tired, you feel fatigued, you feel you can't do anything. But now you have these new kidneys, you're performing so energetic, and you can be yourself again, and you regain your normal life. You can go golfing, you can do the things you used to go. If you were working and you had stopped working, you can go back to work. You can start doing activities with your kids. If it was so hard for you to be able to do those activities with your kids because you are going through dialysis, or you are just feeling tired. And then activity, like also you can be able to eat your regular food. You have rest restrictions. But I need to emphasize this. and I have seen it. Just because you got kidney transplant, you gotta take care of that kidney. You have to take care of that kidneys. You can't say, hey, oh no, I don't have to worry. I will be eating whatever I want to eat. Because if blood pressure is the one that made your kidney fail, and then now you're here eating the food that is not good for your blood pressure, the food that are making your blood pressure get elevated, or if it's diabetes that put your kidneys to fail in the first place, and now you're not even controlling your blood sugar, you are eating anything that, because we know diet contribute to the highest percentage of the conditions like blood pressure and diabetes. So if you have been going through that and you're now eating anything you want, then no, your kidneys will not, that kidney will not last. Even that 1% might not last. So you still have to make sure you are exercising, you are eating healthy, you are still not, if you are smoking, you're not smoking again. If you are drinking alcohol, you're not drinking on a daily basis. You are doing moderate. If you are doing illegal drugs, you have to stop. You cannot be doing cocaine out there or doing any other kind of drugs out there. You have to stop that. You cannot. That kidney, it will be so painful. That kidney could have gone to somebody else who will be responsible for that kidney. So you cannot do those things. So just because you have regained your normal self doesn't mean, oh, then I can throw everything else and forget, and I have to go back to what I used to do that made my kidneys fail. No, you cannot. You still have to make sure you have to take care of your kidneys. What are the risk factors? The risk factors of getting kidney, of which I want to say, hey, there are risk factors. But if I have to be out of dialysis for a year or 5 years, and just have one time, that 1 year that I'm not hooked, for me, that's a lifetime of benefits than the risk factors. So people don't be scared about risk factors. Life is full of risks, but they are. One thing that can happen to kidney transplant is like your body, no matter how much perfect match it was, your kidney, after some time, your kidney might reject that kidney. It's just that one thing that your body feel, this is a fallen body, this is a fallen thing in my body, and just start rejecting it. That's where now your kidneys start failing, and then you might have to go back to dialysis. Or again, it's rejection, they have to get rid of that. The kidney failure, yes, that kidney that you had transplanted doesn't mean that it cannot fail. It still can fail. Like, say, things can happen. It can fail. The other thing is like the medication. They call them the anti-rejection medications that you take. It's a lot of medications that you are prescribed to make sure that your kidneys, your body doesn't reject your new kidney, because sometimes your body might feel this is a fallen organ in my body and start rejecting. So they have the anti-rejection medication that you may take. But the problem with this anti-rejection medication, they might put you prone for cancer. They also might put you prone for diabetes. So those are the few things that having a kidney transplant may cause you to go through. So now that we have talked about this, let's ask you, or let's ask your loved one. No, let's ask you things that you need to do so that you can get a kidney transplant. You have to talk to your families. Let them know that, hey, I would like to have a kidney transplant. And it's a touchy topic. People are scared to really probably go through that. So it's something you express to your families and your friends and those people you are close. Even social media, I'm seeing people posting out there in the social media that they need a kidney. Talk and let people know your wish, because if you don't talk and people don't know your wish, they might not offer that kidney. The other thing is talk to your social worker and get your name placed in the kidney transplant list. Whenever you go to dialysis, whoever is monitoring you, whether you're doing home, whether you're doing it in center, whatever you're doing, there's always a social worker who can be able to refer you to the kidney transplant, and also talk to your nephrologist. Let them know, hey, I'm interested with kidney transplant and I need to know more about kidney transplant. Also read out there. There's so much information out there that can help you understand about kidney transplant. And also now, like I talked to you guys, register yourself for a kidney paired group. This is where if you have a loved one who offer to give you a kidney transplant, and you never know, you can be in that group just in case that your kidney doesn't match the kidney the person is offering you does not match you, and then you can be paired with somebody else and you do an exchange. And we talked about what are the two ways of getting a kidney transplant. Is through the donor and through the deceased donor and a living donor. So to you guys who are out there who are living donor, you and me, I question you, if you have a loved one and they need a kidney transplant, give it a thought. Can you give them another life? That's just giving them another life. To make your life easy, it will make that person's life easy. And talk to your doctor. Let you know if you are in overall good health, or you feel you might not be in overall good health. Ask your doctor, what can you do to be able to give somebody else life and donate that kidney? The other thing you can do, there are also national kidney foundations out there. So also donating to those organizations. It's not just giving a kidney, it's also you can donate to those organizations that are out there. I'm not here to promote any particular organization, but I know National Kidney Foundation, they're there, they help out, for people who are going through transplant. Whatever it is you can donate, go find out. There are support groups there that are helping people with going through transplant. What can you do to support them? Or if you hear somebody has gone through kidney transplant, ask them, what can you do? What can you do for them? Then before you go for kidney transplant, make sure you're receiving the kidney. You're also talking with your doctor of what to expect, things to do, and understand each and everything before you get to before you receive the kidney, because there's nothing but like receiving the kidney and you don't know what to do, what to do after the surgery. What are you to expect? Are you gonna be able to handle that? With that remarks, I thank you again for joining me. Please subscribe, click the like button and the bell, and let somebody else know about it. And before we close, remember that 1 out of 3 people are at risk for kidney failure. And the reason why they are at risk for kidney failure is because of high blood pressure and diabetes. And unfortunate thing, most people don't even know they are at risk for kidney failure. We are all working here without knowing that our kidneys are failing. We could be thinking, oh, I'm fine. And the next day you go to the doctor and you're like, oh, your kidneys are not functioning, your kidneys have failed. So make sure you ask somebody else, do you know your kidney status? And the other thing you need to ask them, can you be a kidney donor? Can you put your loved one into a kidney? Can you help your loved one be on a kidney transplant? And not just being a living donor, even when you're dead, if you happen to pass away, can you donate an organ? Can you donate that kidney? With that remarks, I thank you again and appreciate you. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.